most of Rhode Island south of present-day Warwick, Massachusetts claimed the Cranston-Warwick area, and various fraudulent land syndicates, supported by Massachusetts and Connecticut, claimed all the land once owned by the Narragansett. In the 1680s, King James II attempted to consolidate all of England's colonies in New England with New York and New Jersey under a single governor, and Rhode Island was reduced to a county of the Dominion of New England between 1686 and 1689. James demanded the colony's royal charters be surrendered, but, like Connecticut, Rhode Island hid its charter and reasserted its separate existence when James II was overthrown in 1689. The intervention of the Crown into local matters marked the beginning of Rhode Island's growing entanglement in larger imperial affairs. From 1689 to 1763, England and France fought a series of imperial wars in North America, and drew Rhode Island into all of them. Rhode Island's engagement in seagoing commerce during that period was of great significance. It drew the colony out of its isolation and transformed its economy. Rhode Island's climate of religious freedom opened the door to oceanic commerce. Quakers and Jews were attracted by the colony's religious tolerance, since international trade in the colonial era was often conducted through families or coreligionists. The Quakers and Jews created Rhode Island's first transatlantic networks. Newport became the principal town of Rhode Island until the American Revolution, and the fifth largest town in British colonial America. Providence began catching up to Newport by the mid-18th century. Oceanic commerce led Rhode Island into the slave trade, and its ships became the main American carriers of enslaved persons. Over the course of the 18th century, Rhode Island merchants built a substantial trade network outside of the British imperial regulations. England greatly expanded its North American territory with the Treaty of Paris of 1763, after which it cracked down on trade and attempted to solidify its hold over its empire. Rhode Island's colonial experience made it especially sensitive to efforts to restrict liberties. Historical timeline of key events. Summary. Pre-colonial and early colonial period, before 1636. 9500 BC, Native Americans inhabit southern New England. Early 1500s, Algonquian-speaking tribes, Narragansett, Wampanoag, Niantic, Nipmuc, Pequot, dominate the region. 1616-19, epidemic devastates Wampanoag and other tribes. 1632, Pequot defeat Narragansett in battle but are later weakened by smallpox. 1637, English colonists and Narragansett allies nearly annihilate the Pequot in the Pequot War. Colonial Rhode Island, 1636 to 1775. 1636, Roger Williams, exiled from Massachusetts, founds Providence with Narragansett land. 1638, and Hutchinson and followers establish Portsmouth on Aquidneck Island. 1639, Newport founded by dissidents from Portsmouth. 1643, Samuel Gorton founds Warwick. 1675-76, King Philip's War, Narragansett and Wampanoag resist colonists but are defeated. 1686-89, Rhode Island absorbed into the Dominion of New England but regains autonomy after the Glorious Revolution. 1700s, Rhode Island thrives in maritime trade, including the transatlantic slave trade. Revolution and early U.S., 1775-1840s. 1772, Gaspee Affair, colonists burn a British customs ship, an early act of rebellion. 1776-79, British occupy Newport during the Revolution. 1778, Battle of Rhode Island, 1st Black Regiment fights for the U.S. 1790, last of the original 13 states to ratify the U.S. Constitution. 1793, Samuel Slater establishes the first U.S. textile mill, sparking industrialization. Industrialization and political struggles, 1840s-1900s. 1842, Dorr Rebellion, failed populist uprising for expanded voting rights. 1880, Narragansett detribalized by the state. Late 1800s, Rhode Island becomes a manufacturing leader, textiles, machinery, jewelry. 1934, Narragansett reorganized their government. 20th century, and beyond. 1935, Democrats take power in the bloodless revolution. 1978, Narragansett regains some land in a legal settlement. 1983, federal recognition of the Narragansett tribe. 2006, voters reject a Narragansett casino proposal. 21st century, shift from manufacturing to biotech, finance, and services. Conclusion? Rhode Island's history reflects a complex interplay between Native American resilience, colonial descent, industrialization, and political evolution. The Narragansett, though marginalized, persist as a recognized tribe, while the state continues to adapt economically in the modern era.